Hi, it's Billy Dunlap with GoLaurens.com and GoClennon.com, coming to you from Lawrence City Park, where on Monday and Tuesday nights you can see some great youth football right here, 6:15 and 7:15. So if you don't have plans on Monday and Tuesday, come out, check out some great youth football. Coming to you from week 7 of the Lawrence County Football Show. We've got some changes in the schedule. Hurricane Matthew is causing some changes, so I'll let you know a little bit about those. We're going to start with the Lawrence Raiders traveling to Wade Hampton to face the Generals. Lawrence comes in 2-4 on the season, 1-0 in region play after a 21-14 win over the Hillcrest Rams last week in Simpsonville. Now, the Raiders forced 6 turnovers from the Rams, but they also gave up 465 yards of offense and 27 first downs. The Raiders had a hard time stopping the run all night, but they were able to take advantage of the Ram miscues to put 21 points on the board. Now, Lawrence has to get more potent on offense. Last week they got 114 yards from running back DQ Floyd. We got to have more of that. Troy Dendy's out this week. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. So DQ Floyd's going to have to carry the load to be able to open up the field so Ryan Campbell can have some lanes to throw the ball. Now, look to see more players playing both ways for the Raiders. Last week, Coach Chris Liner tried a new strategy, played some guys both ways. It really paid off. Hunter Medlin had a sack. Troy Dendy normally plays running back, had an interception in the end zone. So look for more guys to do that this week. Coach Chris Liner doesn't necessarily like it, but you got to get the best athletes on the football field. Now, in the defensive backfield, the Raiders are depending on great athletes. Deontay Smith, DQ Floyd, Jonathan Rayford. Those guys have got to have a strong game against the Generals, but the Raiders have got to be able to stop the run. They got scorched last week in the running game by Hillcrest. Got to be stronger this week against Wade Hampton. Now, injuries. The Raiders have been killed with injuries all season. It continued last week. Running back Troy Dendy, playing on the defensive side of the ball, he got hurt on the very last play of the game, dislocated his shoulder. He's out for a week or two. We're not real sure, but he will not be in uniform on Friday night for the Raiders. Now, as far as the schedule goes, right now that game is scheduled for 7:30 on Friday night. That could change depending on evacuees and weather and where Hurricane Matthew ends up going. But as of right now, 7:30 Friday night at Wade Hampton will be Lawrence versus Wade Hampton. Now, let's move on to Wade Hampton. They are currently 4-2 on the season, 0-1 in region play. They lost to Greenwood last week 35-7. 155 yards of offense against the Eagles, but they also gave up 319 yards. They're led by quarterback Josh Edwards, a dual threat quarterback. He passed for only 46 yards last week, but he ran for 138. So he'll pose a challenge for the Raiders on Friday night. So far this season, Wade Hampton has lost to Greenville and Greenwood, 2 good teams. They got wins against Woodmont, Eastside, Berea, and Carolina Academy. Not very strong teams, not very strong programs historically, but that's the Wade Hampton 4 wins for this season. So as of right now, Friday night, 7:30 at Wade Hampton will be the Lawrence Raiders playing the Wade Hampton Generals. Now, let's move on to the Clennon Red Devils. That schedule has changed completely. Clennon will host Mid-Carolina Thursday night at 7:30 at Wilder Stadium. The JV team will also play at home at 5 o'clock. It is homecoming. The homecoming parade will be scheduled for 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon in Clennon, and the homecoming festivities will still be at halftime on Thursday night during the football game. Now, the Red Devils lost to Chapman last week 38-17. They led 14-10 at halftime, but they were torched 24-3 in the second half. So the Red Devils have got to play a complete game this week to get a win against Mid-Carolina. Charlie Craven, 20 for 32 last week, 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Copeland caught 10 passes for 149 yards and 1 score. Chris Holmes ran 15 times for 132 yards. So pretty balanced attack last week. Red Devils have got to do the same thing this week. Like I said, Red Devils have got to play a complete game. They got to be better in the second half than they were last week. They got to be balanced on offense. They got to continue to throw the ball. Charlie's done a great job throwing the ball this season, but they got to continue to do that. Plus, they got to be able to get a consistent running game. They got to continue to be physical on defense. That's their trademark, is being physical on defense and really hitting people. Now, Mid-Carolina comes in 0-6 on the season, 0-1 in region play. They lost to Broome 14-6 last week, 14-6 to a Broome team that beat Burns earlier in the season. Now, they've also lost to Abbeville, 96, Batesburg, Leesville, Saluda, and Chapin, all solid football teams. This is not your typical 0-6 team, so the Red Devils are going to have to be ready to play on Thursday night. So, Red Devils versus Mid-Carolina, Thursday night, 7:30 at Wilder Stadium. Now, let's move to Laurens Academy. Also changed their game, playing at Jefferson Davis Academy in Blackville. They will play Monday night at 6:30. Laurens Academy defeated Newberry Academy 54-30 last week. They're now 2-4 on the season. Will Tyndall led the way, 6 touchdowns for the Crusaders. He was our GoLaurens.com, GoClennon.com Player of the Week this week. Jefferson Davis Academy, 1-5 on the season. Should be an even matchup. The team, Jefferson Davis, defeated Curtis Baptist earlier in the year. That's their only win. That's a win that Laurens Academy has. So should be a good matchup on Monday night, 6:30 at Jefferson Davis Academy in Blackville, South Carolina. Now, Presbyterian College back on the field this week. Had a bye week last week. They're traveling to Gardner-Webb to face the Bulldogs Saturday at 6 o'clock. PC 1-3 on the season. Like I said, coming off a bye week, they were defeated by Florida Tech 2 weeks ago, a strong Division II team from Melbourne, Florida. Gardner-Webb comes in 2-3 on the season. They beat Benedict 45-0 last week. So, 6 o'clock, Presbyterian College traveling to Gardner-Webb on Saturday night. Should be a great game. So, our schedule's kind of messed up this week, but we got some great games for Week 7. And we're excited about it. Want to remind you, Lawrence County Touchdown Club this coming Friday. We've got a great guest, Coach Todd Kirk from Laurens Academy. Everybody forgets that he was a 3-time starter for the Tennessee Volunteers on the offensive line. So look for Coach Kirk to bring a great message on Friday, noon at the Ridge at Laurens. We'll look forward to seeing you there. That's it for Week 7 of the Laurens County Football Show. Got some great games this week. We'll look forward to seeing you at the game.